We are back at IBC 2018 with Media Park Live.
Okay, welcome back to the show. I'm now joined by Wilbert, General Manager of the Riedel Communications Group in Benelux. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Kris.
Hi. Now, so tell us a bit about Riedel Communications.
So, Riedel is probably most renowned for its communications platform. So, I think we are the market leader in Europe if it comes to Intercom. That's one of the business we facilitate or provide services in the broadcast theater industry. And I think one of the applications is being used with your organization, Kris, with Red Bee.
Yeah, we're a big user of Riedel.
Yeah, not only Intercoms, but also the MediaNet platform. Yeah, absolutely.
So let's focus on Intercoms for a second.
Yeah.
What does Intercoms mean to you? Where would we expect to see Intercoms being used in a general broadcast environment?
I would say so. OB vans is an application, studios is an application, end regies, MCR applications. That's where you would use intercoms related to the broadcast industry. If you look at theaters, every theater in the world needs an intercom. So. That's where we provide our...
And pretty much, just for the laity, those that don't understand, I mean, that's pretty much where any kind of audio communication that needs to be run between different parts of a chain in broadcasting allows them to communicate behind the scenes to get everything lined up to make it happen.
Yeah.
And you ensure that that's done in a time reliable, guaranteed fashion.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Now, we know that you're getting into a new product line called Bolero.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bolero standalone. Why don't you tell us a bit about that?
So, I think a year ago on the ProLight in Sound and NAB, we introduced Bolero Integrated, which is a one-to-one integration between the artist platform, the communication mainframe, so to say, and the Bolero wireless product. And now this year we introduced the standalone version, which actually means that you don't need a centralized intercom matrix to use wireless intercoms between different users. So it's mainly set up that you have like antennas based on DECT. Well, actually DECT using AES67, which is a standard, and communicate and let people communicate between the different belt packs they are carrying around their belt, so to say.
So it's more dynamic communications platform.
Absolutely, yeah. Sure.
And what kind of advantages do you think that would give a team?
Well, in general, I mean, wireless communication is always a big advantage because it makes you more dynamic. And one of the things which Bolero is good at, that it's using a license-free platform, which is DECT. And over this license-free platform, we use AES67 to make sure that you communicate between belt pack 1, 2, 3, and 4, so to say. So all the users in that same network can real-time communicate and make sure that everything is being taken care of at the right moment. Yeah.
And how is it possible to integrate that technology with other devices you might have?
In different ways. So there's a connection based on audio in-out, so to say. So you can just hook it up, for instance, to the audio mixer here in your local studio, and make sure that reporters from which are walking around in the RAI, for instance, can communicate back to the mixing console and have are an asset to this show. So to say. Yeah.
And what about mobile phones as well? I heard something about a Bluetooth connection.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, everybody's using mobile phones regularly, I would say, and what you want to overcome is that you cannot reach a person using a belt pack. And therefore we made a Bluetooth connection to the mobile phone, so that people can take their phone on the belt pack as well, but also take this call and distribute it to the other users. And this is very handy if you have, for instance, a director who's a little bit late, calls into the Bolero network, says, well, I'm a little bit late, but hey, I want to already tell how I want the show to be.
Yeah, so you can use the phone actually to connect as another audio source.
Exactly. Yeah, seamlessly.
And do you think it's only broadcast that this type of product would be used, or could you see multiple applications?
Multiple applications. So it's not only broadcast. You can use it in hospitals. You can use it in theaters. We are using it at Formula One, for instance, as a that referees are talking with, or team leaders are talking with their teams. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, and I've seen some of the way in which it's been used in Formula One, and it's really changed the whole viewing experience for a consumer at the other end to be able to pick up audio not just from the commentator, but also from the pit or from the driver or from the director.
Yeah.
And that's seen how your technology is then being brought into the presentation of the event as well.
So I would say that Riedel is not only a product manufacturer, it's also a service provider. And Formula One is a good example. It's actually where a team of people are working on making sure that all communications, but also, for instance, data back to the Formula One teams are being taken care of. An example you give is right, that for instance, if Jos Verstappen, the Formula One guy from the Netherlands, talks back to his team leaders, is angry because something happened with his motor, this part of communication is being taken care of by Riedel as well. So we do much more than only products.
Yeah. How do you get around the compliance recording risk that the driver might say something which is then broadcast?
I'm not sure how that works. I mean, there have been occasions, I guess, that somebody might have said something which is not broadcast friendly, I would say. I don't know how they do this, but I could assume that they have something like a delay or something, just to make sure that the things which are not allowed for broadcasting are not being broadcast.
And do your teams operate actually at the races themselves to provide support?
Yes. So actually the Riedel employees working for Riedel are not really at that moment an employee of Riedel itself. They are employees of the teams. So they are a part of the... Yeah. So there's really somebody dedicated for Red Bull, for instance. So and yes, he wears a Riedel shirt, but he's a Red Bull employee. That's how you could say it.
It must be really exciting and a rewarding role to have.
Yeah.
I mean, do you get to go to the races often?
Yeah. So that's one of the advantages. You can go if you want. I'm happily to invite you. So for instance, we have tickets to the Spa races, and Spa is a lovely circuit because everything is so small and tiny. You can just walk around and see all the things we provide as a service provider there. It's a nice race. I mean, for me as a non-fan, it's a lot of cars driving around. But if you're a fan, I think Spa is the best thing to go to.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then one last question.
Yeah.
So from a Riedel Communications strategic perspective, what's your kind of vision about where you want to take the company in the next few years?
Well, I think one of the buzzwords the last few years is audio over IP, right? And I think that Riedel in general is a company which always has taken standards to be embedded in their solutions. So I think what you will see with Riedel that we are heading more and more to audio over IP. And also more software-defined hardware. That's where we want to go to, I guess. Yeah.
And what about partnerships with other suppliers? I mean, we're working together on a few interesting things. I mean, from a Red Bee Media perspective.
Exactly.
How important to you are partnerships when it comes to new emerging technologies?
Yeah, I think partnerships are the basis of an evolving broadcast industry, I would say. And one of the things we show on this convention is our solution for referee communications, and that is something we do not sell. It's a managed service. And I mean, within these managed services, you need to find partnerships because, only providing intercoms or communication on a football referee thing is, of course, just a limited part of something. Also, video maybe is a part of that. And, Red Bee is probably one of the biggest service providers in broadcast terms in the Netherlands. So, and we have worked together as partners on the recent European Championship beach volleyball in the Netherlands, where we were a subcontractor for Red Bee.
And I think just as we face increasing technology change in areas where we're not the experts, we do need to reach out to each other and find ways in which we can solve problems.
Absolutely. I think for you it's the same as for us. What you will see is that the way that broadcast works is that people need to have products where licensing comes in place, which is more service providing, so to say. Yeah.
Okay, well, we're out of time now.
Okay.
It went quick, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we could do that for another hour, I would say. No worries.
Maybe we'll get done for the greatest hits, and maybe we have to do a new show as well.
We do that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming onto the show. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah. Thank you.
New Business Radio.